Welcome to the idea of where we explore the noise, the nuance, and everything in between. I am Mike,
And I'm Bassey.
and this is the space where culture, creativity, and conversation collide. It is December 16th. What?
It's somebody's birthday. I have my ADHD or whatever it is. I'll remember that it is somebody's birthday. I couldn't tell you whose birthday it is. So
Just
happy
someone,
birthday to whoever's birthday is on the 15th and or the 16th of
to
December. I know
someone
it is your birthday.
that I know, someone that I
Somebody that I know. You know, it's funny. I make this joke about how I miss when hip hop artists would give us like a lot of information about themselves.
Mm.
Like I'll never forget that December 10th is Mos Def's birthday. I'll never forget that August 17th is Postanous's birthday. I'll never forget about CL Smooth and his Aunt Joyce. Like there's information that
Right,
they used
right.
to give us, but so if you put it in a song, I'll definitely remember your birthday. But whoever's birthday is today, December 15th, or yesterday, December 15th, and today's December 16th, happy birthday, because I don't remember. Also, before I let you talk about yourself, I want to shout out my brothers and their Wu-Tang is for the children
Ooh, oh, that's dope. I love
sweatshirt.
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
So those
Shout
are my
out,
brothers.
shout out the website again.
Poor Righteous Teas or PRTs. Um, what's it? Is it mangoes and what is it?
What?
It's a the main website is John Forte, John Forte lyric, eating mangoes and something. Oh crap. PRTs,
Oh,
PRTs, Poor
TE.
Righteous T-shirts. TEE, yeah.
Okay.
Poor Righteous T-shirts.
Yes, shout them out. That's a dope shirt. Are they gonna take
Thank
that
you.
design from last week? Remember the
Oh
one
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
for sure. Yeah, for sure. They're gonna do CDs though. Stacks of CDs.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we are. I was gonna say, oh, you were talking about the lyrics, and it made me think of when rappers told us so much about themselves, but like not in like such a direct way. It was just like a part of their
The song,
lyrical
yeah.
part of the song. It made me think of this week. I read an article or saw, of course, something on Instagram or social media where young Jeezy was talking about a recent Jay-Z verse where he was talking on a song they had together, and he was talking about Jay was talking about like his dad had just died. He was talking about some of his connects that he had, like his drug connects in St. Lucia or something. And Jeezy was like, "Yo, I think that verse like didn't really get digested because it was probably the most authentic verse that Jay ever released because he was saying so much." And I remembered the verse because I remember, like, the sound and the cadence and the voice of the verse because Jay-Z was like his ad lib was like, "Real shit.
Mm.
Dun, 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 real shit." And I was like I remember hearing it, I was like, "That shit ain't real." You know what I'm saying? But he was like, "I had a son real shit." And I went back and listened to the verse yesterday, and I was like, "Yo, there's a movie in this verse."
What's the name of the song?
Imma find it because it's on my Instagram, because I just reposted it yesterday. But I was like, "Yo," first of all, I love the fact that Gen Z is refinding how amazing Jay-Z is and was.
Yes.
Have you noticed that? Have you seen that
I've
recently?
noticed them, not just Jay-Z, but a couple of other people. But yeah, specifically Jay-Z for sure. For sure. Gen Z drives me crazy. I'm sorry. I hope you're not none of y'all listen, but they drive me crazy because of, and I don't think we were like this, and maybe we were, like this inability to acknowledge that anything happened before them.
Mm,
Like somebody posted something about, I think it was Bobby Brown. I saw it this morning, and people were like, "Ah, Bobby Brown, how?" I was like, Bobby Brown ran shit for 3 years. Like he was huge. Ja Rule was huge. Busta Rhymes, huge. Like, what are you talking about? Just because you see them now with like pot bellies and whatever opinion you think they had, you can't erase the fact that these people were fucking huge. And huge in a time when we had to go and buy CDs and tapes. You couldn't just stream it.
right?
Also,
Yeah.
your boy's getting on my nerves too. Drake.
We have a lot. Oh, there's a lot to talk about. There's so much is happening right now. All right. Oh, the Jay Z verse
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it's on Seen It All. I done seen it all. Jay-Z
Oh,
said
I know that song.
and you remember the flow, he was flowing crazy, and I feel like we hadn't heard Jay flow like this. Uncle died on the spot. Pop killed a family with heroin shots, real shit. Gave my life to the block. Figured I get shot, at least I die on time, real shit. Yo, he was
Oh, it's 10 years
crazy.
ago.
Right. I came alive. Wait, we said I came alive in the drive. Big body, all white. Shit looked like it got real shit. I gave him 5 grand to pop. Had a plug in St. Thomas on the Trillion Watts. Real shit. Moving black
Wow.
to the stage, part 92 drips, 92 bricks in front of 560 State. And he was just like, I don't know. We knew 560 State Street. We heard a lot about like the 92 bricks with Jay, but the way that he put it together here, that whole verse is insane. And Jeezy in this interview was saying that when Jay, this is what really brought this to my attention. Jeezy said that when Jay-Z was dropping this verse, he had tears in his eyes in the booth and he had never seen Jay like so open and
Emotional?
so emotional and just like because I think his boy Emery had maybe just come out of jail or just went into jail and served 10 years. And he was talking about him in that verse. So yeah, it was just a dope reflection of, Jay-Z has become the face of, capitalism
Capitalism?
and,
Yeah,
he's a billionaire now. I started to notice, and I think we talked about this here before. I hate the way that people remark, you know, say that Jay-Z is like Beyonce's husband. That shit really bothers me. Just it's always bothered me. And I saw when it
yeah.
happened, and I know, and we talked about this, like as a husband, like if you're the man and you have a wife that's the woman, like you always gotta be like, all right, go do your thing, shawty. You know what I'm saying? And I saw Jay doing that in real time. Like, yeah, go ahead. You're Beyonce. Go ahead. I'm just your husband, right? I'm just this little guy. And so I think for a good 10 years while Beyonce was doing her thing, Jay-Z was just like the cool dad in the background. And so now I see people, re-ranking Jay-Z's albums again. I see people like revisiting when he did the show in New York during the title when title started and like looking at his verses like, yo, nobody flows like Jay-Z. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. No shit.
Yeah.
Like we told you that. Like we've been saying that for 30 years.
Yeah. Him
So
being
it's
one of the
just
greatest of all time should not be in as much it shouldn't be as much of a hot debate as it was for the longest. It doesn't make any sense.
it
Like I'm
does
not the
it
biggest Jay-Z fan, but I 100% acknowledge how fucking dope he is. Like I say I'm not his biggest fan and then I look at my on everything I love playlist and there's like 18 Jay-Z songs on there.
like, you just can't deny it, and thinking back to when Jay-Z was super active, and then reflecting on the rap game now, it just shows, like, what a gap there is, and there didn't have to be. This is
Mhm.
the part that frustrates me so much about Drake, right? Because for all intents and purposes, rap style, presence, like Jay-Z handed Drake a platter, handed him the whole
The
shit.
mantle. Yeah.
He handed it to him so early in his career, and I feel like Drake did a good job stewarding that at the beginning for maybe the first, like, 6 years of his career, maybe even 4 years of his career, and then it's like he didn't care about that anymore. He didn't take care of it, he didn't
No pun
take
intended.
care Ooh, see what I just did? Is
Bars.
I'm an
Bars.
MC I'm an MC, I'm an MC. But, he didn't care for what Jay-Z gave him. Jay-Z was on this dude's first album dropping real bars, and they had such a dope exchange on that album, and Jay-Z told him, "Drake, comma, here's how they're going to come at you, with silly rap feuds trying to distract you." He told him, you know what I'm saying? And Drake was like, "Cool, thanks, buddy." You know what I'm saying? And then
Oh,
shitted
thanks,
on
buddy.
it, and then did what he did for a couple years and didn't embrace that spot. Or he was like so frivolous about it. He was like, I could do anything. I can make pop songs, I could make reggae songs, I could speak in an accent, I can do all these things. I'm still the king of hip hop. And like when you go back and see what Jay-Z did lyrically for so long at such an elite level, it just makes you look at Drake like you had it. Now nobody has it. Nobody has it. There's no MC right now that is even Kendrick, like has it like it, like has
Has
the
what?
whole has it like that. Here's the thing with Kendrick. Kendrick is the dopest MC by far. He makes the best music by far, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care about being the best MC.
Why would
I
you
don't
say
think
that? You
because
don't
I
think
don't.
so? Why?
Where is he? Where's he at? Where
Where is he supposed to be?
he's supposed to be telling me I'm the dopest MC. He's supposed to be
He's
dropping.
he's he's done that. He's proven that he's the best MC. What are you talking about?
He's proven it, but he doesn't care that he is. He doesn't care that he's best MC. He does. He. We all know he is. He is. He raps like he is. He does everything like he is.
Why would you say he doesn't care though?
When I say he doesn't care, like he's not popping shit like he should.
What
He's
are you
not like
talking about?
I don't think so, man. I don't think when you look back, the only thing I'm comparing him to is Jay-Z, right? And you look back on Jay-Z's career, you look at Jay-Z's career, not look back because he's still here on whatever, some level. And Jay-Z's whole persona for that run from I won't even say 96, from 99 to 2008, 9, 10, 11. From Annie to the Black Album, maybe even 444. But yeah, that whole run, there was a swag about Jay. There is a swag about Jay that I don't know. It just seemed a little bit more. Is it confident? Maybe it's my New York bias.
I think it's your New York
Maybe
bias because
maybe it's that.
because Jay's confidence is unique to Jay. And when you were talking, do you know who pop shit on the level that I think you wanted him to? Cole, and he fumbled that shit. Like
Oh, don't get me fuck. Don't get
you
me
popped
fucking
all that
started.
shit. You popped all that shit, and then when it was time to show improve, you tucked tail and ran. So
Don't get
so
me
I think
started.
that means nothing if you didn't prove it. And I think Kendrick is on another level of popping shit, which is like I am the dopest, indisputable. Y'all know it. Y'all can tell me because I don't have to do anything else. I have proven it. Like once you're the best and everybody has it, he made it to the point where everybody has to acknowledge it. And if you don't acknowledge it, you're a hater. And that's the end of it. Like that is the final boss of pop and shit, where it is undeniable. So anybody who says anything different looks crazy or looks like a hater.
So using that example right there, right? Using that example. When Jay was oh, am I frozen right now?
You
Okay,
are
never mind.
frozen. Okay, you're good
Um,
now.
when Jay was on his run, right? If you ask anybody, there was the whole thing, who's the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, but everybody knew it was Jay. I feel like it was 95% would say Jay-Z. I feel like if you asked anybody right now, okay, no, 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 no. Let me change that example. If you asked anybody from the age of 18, let's say 16 to 40, 19 in 2003, who the dopest MC was, they would say Jay-Z. It wasn't a question because not only did he have the catalog, just the presence, the whole thing, the whole package, right? If you ask someone right now between the age of 18 and our age, let's say 18 and 50, let's widen it a little bit. I don't know that as many people would say Kendrick is the dopest MC. I think people would say that Kendrick is the best rapper. I think that they say he's the best MC, like performatively, album wise, all of the metrics, right? But there's like another thing that's like missing. And as I'm
But
talking
that
about
thing
it,
doesn't
as I'm
exist
verbally
anymore.
yeah, as I'm verbally processing it, that it's definitely my New York bias. It's definitely
Yeah,
my New York.
because
Yeah, yeah.
because what you're talking about doesn't exist because of the sheer number of rappers that exist. Number one, the sheer variety of not just rap styles, but the people who enjoy hip hop right now are not necessarily hip hop fans. So they talk about the person that they listen to the most, or
Mhm.
in Drake's case, they talk about the person who has the most number of songs out or the best streams. Like the metric has changed completely. I think that,
Mhm.
and I was thinking about this as far as like the idea of emceeing, that has changed drastically as well. So if we're pulling out pure bars, rapping ability, performance, this, that, and the third, it's Kendrick. It's Kendrick. And I'm saying this as somebody who Most Def was her favorite for 30 years, like literally. And Most Def is never in conversation when it comes to best MCs because the metric has, no, best rappers, I would say best MCs. The metric has changed. I'm looking at like the response to DJ Premier and Nas. I thought it was going to be the worst album ever, but it's like it just sounds like Nas and DJ Premier. But because
Yeah.
people don't have their ear tuned to the way that rap existed when we were younger, they don't receive it the same way. There's too many. There's too many choices.
I think that is a fascinating example, right? The Nas bringing Nas and Premier into this conversation because when you talk about the metric and you talk about like our ears and what they're tuned to hear. Last Friday, every Friday morning, I wake up, I go straight to iTunes and I see, oh, who released the album today? Right? I go to the R&B first and I put who I want to hear in my favorite album so I can go directly to and listen to it. So last Friday, I was like, shit, it was Nas Premier, it was Conway the Machine, and it was another R&B album, I can't remember. And I was like, "Yo, I don't know who to listen to first." I pressed play on Nas and Premier, and I was like, "No, I don't wanna hear this. I don't wanna hear it." I wasn't like my ears weren't prepared to hear that right now. I put on that Conway album, and I haven't turned it off since last week. That Conway Machine album was tuned to the current time in the most phenomenal way possible. Because I feel like, again, everything like kind of comes back to what the Clips did is like they perfectly utilized their age, their experience, the current sound, and a blend of past sounds. So it's like their sound was current with like nods to the 90s. Nas and Premier's album was not current. It was like the 90s
Mhm,
with nods to the present.
mhm,
It was flipped. And so as soon as you turn the album, it was, it was it was a Premier and Nas album. And I
mhm,
just wasn't in the place to hear that. I had to literally almost like sniff a coffee bean to like clear my palate of all the whatever, the nonsense, the 808s, the synth sound, that kind of, that Griselda sound, and be like, all right, I'm just gonna hear. I have to almost like pretend it was 95 and that's what I'm gonna listen to. And I don't know if I know young people aren't going to do that. Like younger people don't have the reference points to
mhm.
bring that back. But when I finally sat down with the album, the Nas album, I was like, it's a good album. It's a good album. I just wasn't prepared to hear it first thing on
So what
Friday.
I'm hearing is that you're the problem. But beyond that, I but beyond, I think that I have the opposite. It's not even, I'm not even call it a problem, but the opposite situation, which is I do not like anything current. I don't listen to anything current. I don't like the sound. I don't like
Mm,
any of the deep southern like stuff that's happened over the last couple of years, like the Atlanta sound. I'm not a fan.
ugh,
I'm not a
no,
fan of the Atlanta sound. I don't like
get
it.
that
I
out
don't
of
like
here.
what it's done. I don't like the da 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 da. Yeah, yeah. I don't like that.
Oh God, no, 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 no.
But what was I going to say?
I'm the problem.
You are the problem. I think that was the main point, that you're the problem. Oh, so I saw this interview with One Savage on some
That was the other
guy's
album.
podcast. Yeah, but what he was saying about like the battle and what he doesn't like hip hop. Like it's very clear he doesn't get it. He's like, who cares? We won a battle. Like, why would he win? He's gonna lose anyway because but he still has the best streaming. It's
I
like
saw
you
that.
don't understand battle. You don't understand. And the thing is, like Drake understood. Drake knew that he had the highest streaming numbers. It's only his fans that use that as a metric. He wanted to be the best MC. He wanted to be
He did.
indisputable. He wanted to be like, yeah, I've got
He
like
did.
the hits, but I'm also a fucking MC. Like for real. I do this for real. That was his point. And for 21 and other people not to understand that it doesn't matter what the streaming numbers was. He wanted the cred. He wanted it to be undeniable that he was the best MC, and he
He did.
failed at that.
Mhm.
He didn't win in that
He
regard.
didn't
But
win.
the
He
way
lost.
but
Yeah.
hearing how 21 processed it made me realize how a lot of these people were processing it. which is they're not listening to hip hop. They don't have a frame of reference for hip hop. They don't have a frame of reference to anything that happened before they became aware of the music. Something that I don't know how I did it, but I'm very happy. Like my TikTok algorithm is just showing me old shit. Like it shows me people rediscovering Self-Destruction, which is a song I listen to weekly. I love that fucking
Oh
song.
my god,
Like
I love that
I
song.
love that song so much. And they're like they're doing the MC Light part. They're doing like the Heavy D
That's
part. And
my
I'm like,
favorite part. That's my favorite part. Oh my god. Fuck you, fresh
bar,
dressed to impress, ready to
ready to
oh boy,
party.
crazy.
Bar for
My
bar,
god.
bar for bar, and they're rediscovering shit like that. Whoops, because they need to get that frame of reference again. And I think without the frame of reference, stuff like that is what's happening, which is people do not truly understand what hip hop is. And it's not about doing the knowledge. It's about fucking listening. Like just listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
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 take time.
because
Take time with it. Sit with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Understand it's like anything in history. Like you have to understand the present, you have to know the past and you have to
mhm,
put it in context to where it was at the time. I think something fascinating that we are discovering in real time is that like and I used to say this to my boys all the time, like you don't know how to listen to music. Right? Like we have an album, this is like even in the college, like post college days. And I think it was like the most amazing shit ever. And my boys like, nah, it's whack. And I was like, nah, 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 you're not listening right. Like I would literally be like, you're not listening right. You need to sit with me and listen to this album. Because, I don't know if it was just like my musician ears just whatever my perspective. Like you're not listening to the words right. And I feel like for a lot of people in this generation, not even I don't think it's age related. I think it's the time that we're in because I think sometimes I get pulled in. I think sometimes you get pulled in. We all get pulled into like only being fed certain things. So if your algorithm last May was just Kendrick and everything Kendrick, there was a time where you couldn't hear anything but Kendrick. You specifically, Bassey. So it doesn't matter what was being said in Family
wait,
Matters or
why
what
me
Cole's
specifically?
trying. No, I'm just saying because
That felt like
you called
shade.
me out, so I'll call you back out. I'm just saying. You said
I
like
know it was
I'm
like
the
that. That's
problem.
shade.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I think all of us get into different pockets of time. Whereas like we is like the vibration in our body is only wanting to hear a certain sound.
Yeah,
And
I
so
agree with that.
if another sound is, being introduced in that moment, it's like you have to clear, you have to sip, you have to drink something else to clear that out to
Clench
take
it.
it in the way it's supposed. Yeah, you have to cleanse your palate. So with all of this stuff happening now, I just think that we just have to take time with things, right? And we have to, Ellington actually said this to me when we were driving back from picking him up this week. I just had on the Drake album, the last one, Sexy Songs for You or whatever. And it was just
Yeah.
like in the on shuffle and we were listening. It was kind of in the background. He was dozing off. I'm just driving mindlessly. And I was like, yo, this album's not bad. Like it's not as bad as it was in the context of post battle. And then Ellington woke up. He was like, I told you. He was like, all Drake albums suck for 6 months. And I was like, wow. It was just such a profound statement because they do. They do. I hate every Drake song when it first comes out. I hate it. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. And then 6 months later, I'm like, God's plan. I don't
It
know
doesn't
why.
it doesn't not suck. You just get used to it. Or you start here's the thing with Drake that I understood about myself. I personally, because I liked Drake when he first came out. Um his first mixtape, there's a song on there that is on my list of favorite songs. I can't remember what it's called, but it's him and Axel F or Alex F or something like that. It's a really good
Oh,
song.
Alex F. Oh yeah, I know what
This
you're
is
talking about.
before he got signed to what's it called? This is like 2006. Like this is early days, early days. And I think that with me and Drake, it's like I always start out remembering who he was, wanting to hear that person. He turns out not to be that. So 6 months later, when I hear the song again, it's like, well, I've already given up on him ever rapping like I think he should rap. So I can listen
Mm,
to it as a using just the Drake metric. I don't love it, but if I do hear it, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a song. Except for his there's like 18 bars in the total of 3 songs that he put out during the battle that I'm like, oh, this is good. This is Drake stuff. Or this is hip
mhm,
hop stuff, not just Drake stuff. But I think for me, I always expect, because I think what you said is accurate, where he had the torch and then decided, I don't know what he decided, but the thing with Drake, and I put this with Tyler, or contrasted with Tyler, where every hero he said he's had, he's beefed with. Like he's disrespectful
mhm.
in that way, and I think that was part of the reason why he he ended up the way that he did, because his ego.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think all the non-rap stuff is what got in the way of Drake being applauded as a dope MC, the dopest MC for a bit of time, right? It's
Oh,
all the other corny stuff, like him being corny. Maybe that okay. So it's coming together. It's coming together. We've known Drake as a cornball forever, right? Even when he was rapping crazy, like we like he's corny.
and we accepted it.
And on that same mixtape when he had the pea coat with the collar, I'll be like, "Who is this corny nigga rapping like this?" All right, you ready for this?
Oh God.
I don't know. I'm gonna hook up that little machine that we got so I can drop a bomb on this. I think this is me processing out loud. So if I'm wrong, please forgive me. Is Kendrick corny?
What does corny mean?
I think Kendrick
What do
might
you
be
what do you
corny,
mean
yo.
by corny though?
In the context of hip hop.
Like not
What's his
cool?
swag? Yeah, where's his swag about? What's your haircut doing? Like, where's your jewelry? Not
Oh my
gaudy Busta
God. Okay,
Rhymes.
now you sound
Like,
crazy. Now
where you at? Like,
this is definitely
what's your swag about? What car are you
this is
pulling up in? Now.
definitely
This is
East Coast old head shit. Kendrick Lamar is
where your
almost
Tim's?
40 years old. He's almost 40 years old. And the thing is, when I see him on stage, I personally be like, pull your pants up. You're almost 40. So what are you talking about? He's got the haircut. He's got the PG Lang Jesus piece or whatever. Like he's
Does
got
he
the
have
Tim's on.
cornrows? Does he have
He
cornrows?
No, he's got a haircut. He's got a fade right now.
Kendrick is
What do you
corny.
mean, does he? You can Google it. Yes, he does. What the fuck?
Wait, hold on. I just put in Kendrick Lamar's name, and I'm looking at just his appearance. All right, I mean,
You
he
sound
has
crazy,
cornrows
Michael.
here. He has cornrows. He has cornrows to the back, like a prison nigga.
Not
I
right
don't know.
now. Right now. Okay, you sound crazy. Right this second, Kendrick has a fade.
All right,
You
I
sound
guess. All right,
insane.
hey,
I
I'm
don't
just
think he's corny. I think that he is. I think he's the same way that I think he's theatrical. I think that I wouldn't say corny, because you saying corny is making me mad. I think that he is making me mad. But I think that your interpretation of cool is different than, I think that you're just a New York nigga who has like a certain.
yo. I think I'm on to something. I
I
think
don't
okay.
think you are.
Hold on. I don't want to.
This
I don't want
nigga's
to
got on,
belabor
he's
this
got a
point.
fade and he's got on a hat. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now I'm mad.
He has two strand twists like my daughter. Get
No,
the
he
fuck out of here,
doesn't.
Kendrick. I'm looking at
That is 10 years old. That is damn. What are you talking about?
Kendrick has two strands.
You sound crazy. That is not what Kendrick Lamar looks like right now.
Kendrick has a blowout. I'm looking at it right now.
No,
He
he
had the two
doesn't.
strand twist that he
You
let
sound
it
like a
out so
hater.
it could.
You sound like a hater. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Oh man, I love it. I think
He's
it's
got a
but
fade.
here
You're making me
I'm
sound
not
like a
seeing a
stan.
fade.
You're
I'm
not
not seeing
looking.
a fade.
Look at his concert film. He had a concert 2 days ago. He's got a fade.
All
Hold on, let
right.
me find Kendrick Australia, because you sound insane right now. You're making me
When
mad.
I pull up Kendrick, I see him. I see he has the South Central LA braids, like homeboy from
2015.
Shut Your.
That was damn era. That was damn era Kendrick. GNX
That's the
Kendrick, who is
picture.
on tour in Australia right now, has a fade. Like, you sound crazy, because it's you can look at it. You can Google it. and see it. What you're looking at, you sound like you sound MAGA, where you're only looking for what it is that you want to see. That is 2015. That's what
Hold
he
on.
won an MTV award for. Damn, in 2015. You sound insane.
He has red
20,
rubber bands in his hair. I'm just saying. I don't. Hey,
that's not
that's
what
the
he looks
only
like right
picture.
now. Because that's
All
what
right,
you're
all right.
looking for. He does not look like that right now.
I just
You're
typed his
making me
name in.
mad.
That's
You're making me mad. Like,
no, no, no. But
honestly, you're
but no,
pissing
no,
me
no,
off.
no. Seriously. No, listen. In all seriousness, I think that the only comparison here is Jay. That's the only person on that is
It's
fresh in
not.
my mind right
It's
now.
your only comparison.
No, no. Yeah, the comparison I'm making right now
I believe that
because
Kendrick
Jay was
go ahead.
no. I'm saying Jay was the epitome of MC. Jay, of course, Nas and folks in that time frame. And if you want to add in West Coast at that time, I don't know, Snoop, I don't know. And there's so much conversation recently about hip hop not being in the billboard and hip hop not represented in a certain way and all these things. And for so
Sorry, I'm
long,
interrupting
Jay
you.
Z
This was
was that.
literally a week ago. This was last week. This nigga has a fade. This was
Is that
last week.
okay? I'm a, listen,
Last week.
listeners and viewers. That's not a fade, but I'm gonna let, I'm gonna let you have it.
It's
I'll
a
let you have it.
haircut.
He
It's
has
a
a
haircut.
haircut.
Alawe has this haircut. It's a haircut.
Okay, we're just gonna let that. He has a fade, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, first of all,
But
I don't go to the barber shop. I don't know what a fade is exactly, but it's a haircut. He's got a haircut. He looks like this is exactly the hair that Alawe has, except for maybe a little shorter. I
all right,
don't want to hear
with
from you anymore.
even
You've made me so
no,
mad.
no, no,
Like, I low key want to
with
leave.
all
You've
of
made me
that,
so mad.
no, I'm telling you, I think that I don't know. I just think it's something to think about because there is no king of hip hop right now. Even though Kendrick is the best MC, there's no
You're
king of hip
making me
hop right
mad.
now.
You're pissing me
Who's
off.
the king of hip hop right now? Who's the king of
Kendrick.
hip hop right now?
Kendrick Lamar is. Kendrick Lamar
Okay,
is. It's not your dude. It's not J. Cole. Where is he at?
no,
All
it's
this music
definitely
dropped
not.
over the last year and a half. Where's he at? That's
He's
your
a folk
king?
singer.
That's your king?
I'm just saying, there's a reason why there's a void.
Why the
And
hell is
even
this
though
nigga in
Kendrick is
Japan?
dropping the best music, some say, I'll just leave it
Okay,
there. I'm not gonna. I'm not.
we're not talking about this anymore because you're really pissing me off. Like,
No,
I don't get mad, but I am mad right now. You're pissing me off. You're
I
pissing me
didn't even
off.
say anything.
Yes, you
Anyway,
did. You
all
said
right.
everything. You're right. You didn't say anything. You said nothing.
Hey, hey.
Making me mad.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But anyway, no, what we
Wait,
were originally talking about was the hip hop, right? And we were talking about we were leading into Diddy. I don't know how, but we were talking about was this off the mic or did we talk about the podcast with the dudes talking about the documentary?
you didn't
We
talk
hadn't
about
pressed
that at
record
all.
that, I don't think. Yeah, but recently there's been some conversations about the documentary, right? And the Diddy documentary, The Reckoning. And there's a second wave of conversations that are adding some, I don't know, new voices, a different perspective to how people are processing the documentary. We've had a week to sit with it. We didn't, we both didn't go back to watch it, but what have you seen about how people are kind of processing the after effect of what they saw?
Well, I think that something that happens in this generation that I kind of have, I'm not sure how I feel, is that everything becomes a joke eventually. So I've been
Mhm.
seeing a lot of like, TikTok trends that are jokes. Seeing that. I've seen people get more comfortable with I see two things, and this happens all the time. I see the people who have taken the self-righteousness to a whole other level where it becomes just as much as a talking point for attention as the people who are like, free that man. He didn't do anything. It's come to that where people are no longer being objective about it and are pushing their own or confirming their own biases. I've seen that. But also, to be fair, like I think we mentioned in the beginning of this, my For You page is all like R&B and rap from the 80s and
Mhm,
2000s.
mhm.
So I haven't been engaged with a lot of the conversation because it's getting a little frustrating because people don't seem to be objective on either side. But yeah, that's what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm seeing like I think 50 is like this idea that everyone has given 50 like he's untouchable, right? And
Mhm.
in terms of like almost like in a mafia type way, like, oh, no one can mess with 50 because if 50 got something on you, he's gonna da da da, right? And so last week, the big talk about was, Marlon Wayans had an interview where he was talking about,
Oh yeah, I said that. Yeah, yeah.
that he was at Diddy parties and he didn't see anything, but he was like, hey, whatever. And 50 came out and attacked Marlon. They kind of went back and forth in this petty way on Instagram and stuff.
And now all of a
And
sudden
I
he's
feel like
gay.
each yeah, yeah, and then with those insinuations and, they were just throwing back gay, uh, nuances or, to each other. It's like, "What? Why are y'all responding like 13-year-olds?" And then most recently, yesterday or even this morning, I think, the 4 MCs that had that podcast I was telling you about is Mano, Fabulous, Jim Jones, and Dave East
Again, crazy,
said that
crazy lineup.
crazy mashup, said that they
The
thought
Pause
the documentary
Avengers.
was entertaining, right? That the documentary was entertaining, but that it was a mockumentary. And so 50 took offense to that and came out and bashed them and insinuated that they were gay. It's just like every time 50 does this, it takes the focus from, okay, why are you really doing this? It seems like you're doing this because you have a personal vendetta against Diddy, which is fine, but it just causes to question, like, is every detail in this documentary accurate? Is it just innuendos to create additional conversation? Like, where is the fact meter here? And there have been at least three different accounts of what happened in the documentary where whether it's in interviews or people commenting on like that did not happen. Like it didn't happen in that way. Eric Sermon's been making the rounds recently. And the Breakfast Club pressed him on like, okay, wait, so what happened? You were in the car and Diddy swung on you, and then you went around the block and listened to Ready to Die. Well, how? Like, what in what order did that happen? Because the documentary made it sound like that. So I don't know. I just think, I think now that people are having some time, I think the universal thought is Diddy, of course, is a piece of shit. He should stay in jail. But is this just a character assassination with this documentary, or is there more truth that we need to pull from it to add more context to how much of an animal he is?
Well, okay. Well, I take umbrage to, and you know this, calling people animals and monsters and this, that, and the other thing when it is much more because it makes it less realistically human for somebody to behave like that. It allows people to be like, I would never, as opposed to there's something going on. Like I wish, just going into that, I wish that there was more emphasis on his background and his and who he was as a kid, because we don't know that part. And I feel like that would have been
Mhm.
much more fruitful as opposed to retelling these stories. So there's that. When it comes to 50, I think that 50 has hijacked this project because it is his name that
Yeah.
sells it, but it was somebody else who put it together and directed it and did all the research. And he's kind of just like people are acting like he was in the booth, in the editing booth, putting it
Right,
together.
right.
But there was something that he said on I think the Sherry Shepherd show where he was like, we only
Mhm.
got 4 episodes and he's going to release something on YouTube that talks about Diddy getting Tupac's ex-girlfriend pregnant. And the way he said it,
I saw them.
is that a I was like, is there like some other girl? Is it Kakata? Is it what's her name? Kanata? Is it like what's happening? But
Kinda
it's the woman who has his ghetto triplet, like who was pregnant at the same time. We know about her. Like we know this story. So what is the way that he
mhm.
said it was so like, oh, like what is that? Like that's not that is just gossip. you know what I mean? Like, yes, it's all gossip, but that makes it like
Right.
National Enquirer or not even National Enquirer, it's the shade room, as opposed to what was your intention in really doing this? And I think that his antics take away from what it is that was supposed to happen with this documentary. He turned it into even his whole thing was like, oh, it's because he tried to take me shopping. Even that trivializes it. And it just I don't know.
It
I've never been a
does.
big 50 fan, but like it does
Yeah.
I don't think that his intent changes anything, which is what people are trying to do, but his intent is not as noble as what he's trying to make it seem or the people who support him or who are defending him are making it seem.
And so then here's the thing. Anybody that brings up that point that you made that we were making last week is seen as, well, you just support Diddy. And then they're written off as some sort of like, well, like, look at all because that is the actual what the words that people use on the post when the four Avengers, the four Paws Avengers were talking about the documentary. That's basically exactly what they're saying. Like what is this about now? Like, is it about this? Like it's kind of mocking what really happened. And people in the comment, look at these four grown men supporting Diddy. And that is, even when Marlon said the basic facts about his involvement with Diddy and going to parties and seeing what he saw or didn't see, they're like, I would have never thought Marlon would have supported Diddy considering he has a gay dog. Like, it's just, is
A
in
transsexual.
these days and times, like, you can't really say anything opposed to what the proposed
But
the universal thought is about a topic.
yeah, there's certain things that are nuanced and are gray. Saying, I mean, what Marlon said to me, but like what I saw, and I didn't watch the whole thing because I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I get really like physically uncomfortable when I'm like, oh, okay, something this is not going to be taken well. I just can't sit. But what I saw was we can't put him in more jail. You know, like that's like we like he's like, and to me was more like
That's funny.
you're
Yeah.
asking me about this, and nothing I say is going to make him more guilty of it. He even said he acknowledged that this was terrible. He's terrible. I and even the truth of I've known him since high school or since college. That's just true. You know what I mean? Like it's just a fact. And like using the
Mhm.
fact that you were on campus with him or even like even this idea of we were on campus together, we went to college together, and then we both ended up super famous. I don't even know how to put it. It's like it makes sense for them to have been friends later on. It doesn't necessarily mean that they were
Yeah.
in cahoots, which is the implication. And taking this like overwhelming evidence of what it is that Diddy has done, and then attaching somebody because they knew him to it, it just to me it dilutes what's important about it. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
you've got
absolutely.
this yeah, you've got this huge amount of evidence. We've seen everything that this man has done. We're being told that we didn't do enough to stop him. And then your next reaction is anybody who knew him was part of this thing. That doesn't make any sense to me. And now even as I'm talking, like I'm not defending anybody. I'm just talking about what it is that is happening because I think it definitely takes away from what it is that's occurred. And last week I said that I believe that Diddy is a sociopath. He's an antisocial personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. And what happens is that whenever you take your eye off of that, it gives them increased power in order to fool more people. So it is a distraction in that sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I don't think there's a space in hip hop culture. Maybe it's just modern culture to humanize people that have done bad things. And I don't know if that is the end goal here. I don't know if that's necessary, but I feel like there is for us, I think that there is it's almost second nature to dehumanize Black people, especially Black men. I feel like when they do something bad, because there's so many examples of Black men in popular culture that have made so many public mistakes. right? And so if anybody tries to add context to them in that moment, and it's not even shooting them bail, like the kids say, it's not that. It's just like, hey, like he did these bad things, and also I know or knew him as a good person, or he's done good things for me in the past. He helped me with X, Y, and Z. And I just can't I can't break free from maybe this is a non uh what I can't there's a word I can't think of it. Maybe this is a non related analogy. No, not a non sequitur, but like a false equivalency. We have the worst president in the world. We have the worst
Horrible.
person as the leader of this country. But if I were to turn on the news at any given time in a 24-hour, 80% of that time would be filled with what a black man has done. Even though what they did was wrong, right? Like even though and maybe it's my algorithms, maybe it's the things that I watch, but when I turn on ESPN or I watch CNN, I have it on the background all the time. I saw more stories about the president or the coach of the University of Michigan football team than I did about what this administration is doing to poor and black people in the
Well, okay,
country.
that's a
And
false
so it's a false
equivalency.
equivalency. I get it's not one for one.
But I think that the issue that I have with that take is that you are minimizing people's quest for salacious information. What Trump is doing is boring
Mhm.
because it happens all the time. There is something like this, the case of what's going on with the coach of Michigan. People are going to talk about that because it is so out of the realm or the norm of what it is that we know to happen, and it is interesting. As terrible as that is, it is gossip. It is interesting. It is far more interesting than the daily bullshit that oh boy does. Yesterday, when Rob Reiner was and his wife were murdered, the shit that he said about that got coverage because it went even beyond the bullshit that he usually says. So that stuff is always gonna get covered. I don't think that that is necessarily true. And the stuff that Diddy did is particularly again, salacious because of what it is that was done. If he was, and this is sad as far as like the way society is, if he was just an offender, and I say just in quotes, if he was just an offender, if he was just a woman beater, nobody would care. But because he had prostitutes and he's, doing stuff with bodily fluids and this, that, and the other thing, all of that together is salacious. That's why it's interesting as soon as something happens, like they're trying to with the president music, going back to that, they're gathering information about Epstein and they're finding pictures of them together. They're finding emails and all that comes into the forefront because it is salacious and it is more interesting than the boring evil shit that he does every single day. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't say that because even when people are like, I saw somebody was like, oh, we've got 87 documentaries on Diddy, but where are the Epstein documentaries? And when you go on Netflix and you see the Diddy doc, like right underneath it is an Epstein documentary. Like it's there. It's all there, but it is not as interesting because it's not as recent. I don't think it has anything to do with I do agree with you about dehumanizing people because I have gone on record several times that if you dehumanize people who do bad things, you give people who do bad things but aren't as bad as that a pass. And not even a pass, but in order to stop the cycle of abuse, you have to start with where it came from. And I think it's valid. I think that context is valid. I would have loved to see in that documentary more about his childhood, more about what happened between 3-year-olds and 19 that like started whatever, like what happened. That's what I'm interested in. I think that's where humanizing in order to understand others makes more sense. So, but I don't think that humanizing or bringing context in order to excuse or in order to shift blame somehow, I don't think that that is, I don't think that's what should be happening.
Yeah. I just I agree with that 1,000%. I just it is, there's entire courses of study that talk about how mass media is consumed off of the backs of Black people and off of the experiences of Black men and women, Black culture. So understanding that, a lot of the things that we do are more interesting. It's still a thing, right? Like it's still so widely known that, especially for a group of people that are marginalized, that the way that they are covered in the media becomes, for a large portion of people, who they are,
Mhm,
right? Like if you
mhm,
don't know and aren't exposed to Black people or brown people or immigrants or whoever, how they're portrayed on TV is who they are. And who
mhm.
they are in these people's mind is how they deserve to be treated and how actions are placed upon these people. And so all of those things are true in terms of, the Diddy story is more interesting than the president's story, but there, even underneath that, there's a reason why that is so widely accepted, that, what Diddy does, and we're not excusing him for what he did, but the way it is being portrayed, whether we like it or not, or whether we even know it or not, is impacting the Black community and is impacting hip hop culture and is impacting, the frivolous nature in which hip hop is kind of shooed away in certain circles. It's because there are so many accounts and so many visual portrayals of niggas doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it being captured and reported on in a way that is salacious and is turning pages and is selling magazines. And but it just, it's disappointing. On some levels, just disappointing that, like, in every corner of the media, that there is a leading story of a Black man being taken down,
But
even though what
okay,
they did deserves for them to be taken down.
but what do you
But it
mean
just
by okay? What do you mean by taken down? Like I think that language. I have my my.
your sound is going in and out.
Is it back?
Yeah, 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 okay, okay.
Is it back?
It's delayed, but keep talking. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. So that
Alright, and we're back. Our bad.
so I think something else you need to keep in mind is that your personal analog algorithm has you seeing more black people doing things than you do white people, because I'm the same way. I get so shocked and appalled and surprised when some white people drama shows up on my For You page, because I have absolutely no idea what white people are doing. I didn't know that I can't even like think of something because I saw something the other day and I was like, oh, I didn't even know this person was still a person, as far as like some white actor, because I don't pay attention to
Mhm.
that. But I'm sure that other people who have that in their purview can say just as confidently, this white shit is happening and they're only talking about white shit. What about the black people who do whatever? So I think it's all about perspective and frame of reference.
See, I would tend to agree with that. I think from, like, a computer perspective, like, technology perspective, I think that's accurate. But I just see so many white people commenting on Black people shit.
I
And
hate
I'm
that.
like,
I hate that.
how did y'all get here? Like, how do y'all know about this?
I hate that. I hate it. The shit, like, I hate that. Like, I can't, I don't even know what pathology that is, or what I need to unpack, but I don't care how bad the black person is. I hate white people commenting on it. Like, I got to a point where I almost started defending. Remember David, that kid? Like, almost started defending him because white people were on, like, he's a monster, he's a horrible monster. And I'm like, okay, first of all, watch your mouth, because you don't know this. Then I was like, okay, hold on, he
Which
did
David?
actually.
What David?
David, that 20-year-old singer that allegedly killed that young girl that he was dating. We talked about this.
Did we?
We talked about it.
D4VD. Oh, yeah, yeah,
D4V.
yeah, yeah.
I was about to say
Where did he
D4VD.
go? I forgot. I completely forgot about that.
Apparently, and I saw this yesterday. Apparently, his manager is a suspect for like killing her and putting him in this trunk. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I wasn't paying attention, but
Completely forgot
that's
about
another
that.
point. I wasn't paying attention to that until it showed up on my For You page, and then I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, what's going on here?" And I was like, "Okay, wait, you'll stop talking about this. I want to hear from y'all. Let me go find some black people." We talk about. I think that white people are preoccupied with what it is black people are doing in general, And I think that there's a confirmation bias that shows up when Black people are behaving badly. So I will give you that.
Mhm.
But I do still think that there is white shit going on that we aren't privy to because we don't pay as much attention to white people as they do to us. I was talking to my brother the other day. Do you remember a couple of months ago when the young Republicans, somebody like exposed their group chat and it was just
Yeah,
all talking about
yeah,
niggers and black and all that. They were just like, you would never find young Black Democrats and you go and you expose their group chat and it's talking about white people. We don't talk about them. We don't
yeah,
think about them.
yeah.
We're not constantly preoccupied with them
That's
the way
not
that
the
they are with Black
foundation
people.
of that's not the foundation of their content, of their
Exactly.
mission, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So I think conversely, or to that point, I think that that's what we're seeing too, them being obsessed with the idea of what goes on with us. But I think as for us, it is a different perspective. So I cannot, I think there are times when they are trying to, I don't want to say take, no, I will say that because we look at what happens with Jasmine Crockett. She decides she's running for Senate. All of a sudden, they're obsessed with all the, with I'm all over the place because I'm getting mad at so many things all at once. But like it's about the perspective. I cannot sign on to it being like a takedown situation unless we're talking about 50. I think 50 is trying to do a takedown, but I just don't think in general that's what's
This seems like
happening.
50 is using that theory. Like 50 is
Hmm.
using the theory that, understanding that there are certain people, there are certain trigger people that when they are placed in the news, it's going to do
Yes.
certain things. It's going to move culture, whether it's numbers wise, whether it's viewership, whether it's, getting people to do a next thing. I don't know. I just think it's a really, if you're using that for good, like he's not using it for good. Like we know that. And also, I think people look at the formula and be like, "Oh, yeah, like that's what we do too, right?" Like that's how ESPN operates, right? And I always have a sports analogy, but even if you watch sports all day, like if ESPN is on in the background, ESPN and CNN are the only things that are on in the background, on mute, whether low sound. And in any sport, right? If you have a black man for the most part and a white man that are doing the same exact things, whether it's good or bad, we know how things are going to be reported and how salacious one is going to be versus the other, regardless of like how interesting it is, or regardless of if one has more sexual content versus the other. This Michigan coach is not the only coach that had an affair and did crazy shit after it, right? There are countless stories of it happening across all sports in all ways, in different perspectives, and we know how one is going to be viewed versus the other. That's racism 101. Like no one's, questioning that. And also, we're digesting all of this, right?
Mhm.
Like not just us, people are digesting all of this, and it leads to, in my opinion, like it leads to things actually happening. It's not just like in my gut or my thoughts. It leads to the fact that when a quarterback is needed for a team, they'll call a 44-year-old white grandfather instead of considering Cam Newton or considering Colin Kaepernick, who's 37 and still in shape and played quarterback at a higher level across the length
Wait,
of his
I
career.
don't know football. There's a grandpa that's playing soccer. I mean football.
An actual grandfather, 44 years old. They called him off of the couch. He was coaching a high school football team, Philip Rivers. By all accounts, folks think he's a great guy, but they called him to be a quarterback, and he started on Sunday, and he
For what
lost
team?
for the Indianapolis Colts because their quarterback got hurt. Young guy got hurt, and they called a 44-year-old grandfather when there are countless other quarterbacks that are 35,
What?
that are actively prepared. Colin Kaepernick, they say, is still actively working out to get a job.
He
Cam
doesn't
Newton,
want to.
all
He
this,
doesn't want to play.
he doesn't. But
Captain doesn't
that's
want to play.
like that is it's just the narrative that we all know is there constantly, and how all of these stories feed into the dehumanization of Black folks, men and women. And it's just an unfortunate reality of racism in the media.
First of all, I'm offended that somebody that's 44 is a grandfather. Like, let's start there.
An actual grandfather. And he
I
looked
find that offensive.
he looked like he was a grandfather. He was out of shape.
This is
He came in there
crazy.
looking cool. He came into the press conference looking bananas.
It looks
You know,
crazy. Even Tom Brady doesn't play anymore.
right, right.
This is
But if he
crazy. Sorry,
did,
I'm.
no one would question Tom Brady. Like he still looks like he could come in and Mike could throw a yard. But this dude, but it was just so accepted. It was like, oh man, Philip Rivers, he's great. Like he's such a leader on the field, and he has a great personality, and he's a leader in the locker room. So it's like we know by direct example that narrative and how that narrative is built up over time, that this white old man could come in and do a better job than a younger, Black, more opinionated, more
And they're questioning
swaggy.
Shador, who was already.
Yeah,
That's just crazy to me. This is
that is the
crazy to
perfect
me.
example. The juxtaposition of Shador's coach don't even trust him right now. He's 21. You know what I mean? So I
This
don't
is
know.
crazy.
It's just a
This is
it's a
crazy.
constant thing that I'm just always aware of.
This is crazy. I didn't know anything about this.
So what you got going on for the holidays, Bossy? I'm assuming a lot of ways home and
I went to go get
exams.
him on Friday. Yeah, he's home. Nothing much. I'm really shocked that Christmas is next week. Like, I don't know
What?
when. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm very confused by this. I'm very confused by it, but it is apparently happening. Um, yeah, I don't, let me tell you this devious plan. My siblings, I'm sorry, this is so funny. Oh, my parents don't like spending money on anything. Like
Mhm.
my dad has had the same car literally since 2000. And instead of getting a new one, he just keeps getting it fixed. Like the amount of times should have gotten this car fixed, or
Mhm.
he should have just gotten a new one. Like you spent more money fixing this 2000 Lexus Sport or whatever the fuck it is, then he just get a new one. But he won't. And then it's got to a point now where he's like, I'm too old to get a new car. I was like, all right, well, you weren't too old 15 years ago and you just kept fixing this shit. But they just won't. So things have to be falling off the bone before they do something about it. Like it's so frustrating because whenever you try to do something, they will harass you until you return it. Like it is bad. Like you gotta wait until they're out of town or something before you can make any changes. Anyway, so they need a new refrigerator. They need a new
Okay.
refrigerator. They've needed one. The one that they got, like they got it's too small. Like it's a whole thing. We've been trying to get a new one for like 5 years. So my sister and I came up with. Sorry. Do you know Marlowe Furniture?
Oh yeah, I remember Marlo. Uh-huh.
So they're going out of sale or out of business or whatever. And my sister and I were like, it started months ago. It was like, oh, Marlo's going out of sale. We were driving by and we did this contest where you put your name in a hat and then you pull it out and you can win a new refrigerator.
No, you didn't. No,
Yes, we
you
did.
didn't.
Yes, we did.
Tell your
Yes, we did. So we planted the seed. We're like, oh, we when we were driving by, we stopped in and they had a contest and we entered the contest. I wonder what's gonna happen. So we're gonna win a new refrigerator next week.
that is the lengths we have to go through to get our parents to change is crazy.
I had to go on ChatGPT and ask them to create an email. Like it is that drastic because they will not. We could be like, it costs
Oh,
$5. Ah, the one that we have is working fine. Okay. So we have to say that
wow.
we entered a contest and we won
That is so funny. Marlowe furniture.
Marlowe Furniture. So
That's
yeah, that's
wild.
my plan. We've got to figure out how to like, oh, we won, and then get it the next day. But that's my plan. Yeah, nothing else. What about you? You guys coming up here?
Probably not. Folks are coming to our house this
Oh,
year.
okay, okay.
That's generally how it's been for the past like 4 or 5 years. Folks will come hang out with us. My mom's coming up. Danielle's mom's coming. My brother and sister. My brother's new girlfriend is coming, which is nice. Um, and my Who else? Who else? Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time. We always have a good time. It's just like all of the adults like are not working. We just literally drink all day, watch sports. The kids can play. Ellington's friends spend a lot of time at our house because I think they just feel comfortable here. Which when they were in high school was a little annoying because it's like what, why? But now they're a little older, so they can get in the conversation. We play games and stuff, so that's cool. Just looking forward to like shutting down and
Yeah.
not having to go to practice and go to games and stuff like that. So that's always good. Ooh, got a recommendation for a book you have to read.
Okay. I have one for you too, actually.
Oh yeah, have you heard of? I feel like she reminds me of you. Have you heard of Sophia Sinclair?
I don't think so.
Does that name sound familiar?
No.
She wrote a book called How to Say Babylon, and it is a story about, I think it was on Oprah's top books or something, like a lot of people's top books of 2023 or 4.
Oh, she's a poet.
She is a poet, and this book is freaking phenomenal. It is
Ooh.
about her life growing up in Jamaica as a Rastafarian and just her dynamic and as a daughter of a Rastafarian father and all the things that go along in her trying to get to the States.
Yeah, I'll get it.
My
I'll get it. Let me
goodness.
hang up.
Are you a listener? Do you listen to books? Or
Yeah,
do
I
are
can.
you
I
okay?
can.
Her
It's
uh
hard, but I do.
as a poet, I feel like you're a poet, so you might appreciate the written more. But I'm telling you, her delivery, oh my god, I got chills. Listen, the same way I felt when I read your book. Honestly, like there were some moments like how did like that visual and hearing her say it, and her accent is just like I was like banging the table listening to her book. It's so
Yeah,
so so good.
I'll get that. I'll get it when we hang
How
up. I've
to
been trying to
say
read more.
yeah.
How to Say Babylon, a memoir. I got hit up by an editor last week that made me reconsider my whole no book writing thing.
Keep writing, man. I mean, I'm
We'll
telling you,
see.
you're y'all when you're different like that, and like you just people just got it. Some people just got it. As soon as I heard her voice on the audiobook, I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, let me just lock in. It's long. It's say 11 hours, 18 hours, something crazy. It's a
I'm gonna
really
check
good
on
book. So
Libby to see if it's on there.
yeah.
But a friend of mine, Mark, who listens to the podcast, gave me a book recommendation for you. It's a book called Don't Cry for Me. It's about father writing letters to his son before he dies. And he said
Oh,
specifically for me to mention it to you.
what's the
He
author's name?
says, he doesn't say, but it says it's a look into what reconciliation looks like. Don't cry for me.
I don't want to read it. It
But he mentioned
sounds
it because he
it's too
listened
much.
to your episode.
Yeah. Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. Okay, man. I don't know. Oh yeah, a black father makes amends with his gay son through letters written on his deathbed in this wise and penetrating novel of empathy and forgiveness. For fans of Tinashe Coates, Robert Jones, and Alice Walker. Jesus. As Jacob yeah, that sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he
I've
mentioned
never
it
spoken to him
after
anyway.
listening to your
Yeah, I got a lot of folks telling me like, nah, Mike, you gotta do something with that. Like you gotta do something with it. Like you can't leave it as is.
yeah, I agree.
I hear you. I hear
Real
you.
quickly before you go, because you're talking about games, for Christmas, you guys should get this game called Pass the Mic. I think you'd be really into it. I think you'd be
Oh
really
yeah,
into it.
we just bought it 2 days ago.
Oh, word?
Yeah. My sister-in-law. No. There's pass the mic and then there's grab the mic. Have you seen those two? It's two
Oh,
of
it's
them.
grab the mic. It's grab the mic. Is there Pass the Mic? The one where you have a
Pass.
word and then you grab it and say a song? Yeah,
That's the one we bought yesterday.
that's the one I mean. That's the one I mean.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we got that. We're
Let's
getting there.
grab the mic. My sister got the one misheard lyrics. It's fun, but it's also frustrating.
There's so many. I feel like last year we got past the mic, and that was one where I can't remember the game. You had to like someone came up with a category. There was a category on a card, and then each person had to choose a song that they best felt reflected that
Oh,
sentiment.
I've seen that one.
And then
Yeah.
you literally go around and you play your song, and the person who's it has to decide which song fits it the
Yeah.
best or something like
Yeah.
that.
Have you guys played Imposter? We played that on Thanksgiving too.
Oh my God, we did. The kids introduced it to us.
I'm terrible at it. I have no poker face, so I just start laughing. I'm the
So
worst.
funny.
I wasn't
We did
allowed to
that.
play anymore. Like I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry.
We played that at Thanksgiving, and the kids introduced it to us. That was fun.
Yeah.
That's what I love about holidays, getting able to play some games and have
Mm.
some just downtime. Are we recording next week? Is next week Christmas? Wait, next
Yeah,
week is
next
the
week is
23rd.
Christmas. Yeah, that's the eve before Christmas Eve. I feel like no.
So is this it before 2026?
2026? I believe so. And I think that I told you that I spoke to Kendra and she's
Mm-hmm.
down. Yeah. I feel like we need to come hit the ground running. No, that's not what
Right.
I mean.
Hit
Do
the
I
ground.
mean hit the
Yeah.
ground running?
Yeah.
I
January
mean,
6th.
well, I mean, get it like ready, like have all the shit ducks in a row. Maybe is that what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Have our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm January 6th. Why is that name sound? Why is that date?
Because of the storm the Capitol.
Right. Like I was like, why is See,
Speaking of
look,
white
I
people
can't
behaving
even
badly.
exactly, and I can't even recall it. Like, oh yeah, the day that we almost became a different country. Got it.
Have you
I
seen
have
the
a dentist
latest Charlie
appointment that
Kirk
morning.
stuff? Okay, sorry.
No, what's the latest?
His widow, she's dropping the ball. She's terrible at this.
She's breaking. She's
She's
breaking down.
terrible at it. I was watching this thing, like I was watching like a YouTube breakdown. I was like, oh my God, they picked the wrong one. She's terrible at this. Yeah, I'll send it to you because she's
I saw them
fumbling.
asking her a question, and she was like, they were asking her something non-Charlie Kirk related, and she was like, "Oh, I was so happy," and it was just like, "Oh, so expressive with her face." And then they asked her something about Charlie or about Candace Owens, and she was like,
Yeah.
I'm mad now."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Get the fuck out of
That was exactly. And she was like, "You think that I was doing this, that, and the other thing?" And people were like, "Well, it sounds like you were now that you bring it
Like,
up because you sound
actually,
crazy."
yes, that's exactly what we think.
I
Actually,
didn't until you mentioned it. Yeah, she's failing at whatever this is. She's failing at it.
I heard she's gonna sit down with Candace Owens at some point soon. Like that's happening soon.
Yeah, yeah. She crumbled. Like Candace was getting to her, and she knew it. She knew it.
Exactly.
Far be it
All
from
right,
me to
y'all.
root for Candace Owens, but I do for this instance. All right.
Yeah. We will see. So tell Kendra about January 6th if she wants to join us. If we
Will
don't,
do.
we don't have to record in the morning if she's not available. We can record in the evening. But everybody, will see y'all in the new year. Keep finding the truth in the chaos, the clarity in the culture, and the joy in the journey. And see you in the new year.
Sir, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Let it snow, and other songs.
Peace.